From my observation, my experience, and my study, building a character of integrity is absolutely essential to each individual's relentless pursuit of Christ. To me, integrity is defined as simply doing what you say you are going to do, which also by extension requires you to say what you mean and mean what you say. This maintaining a character of integrity is challenging for a lot of people because a lot of people like to speak without thinking, or act without thinking. Obviously not without thinking at all, but just without thinking extensively about what they're doing or saying. And you'll notice that in Christ's perfect life, that means he never said or did anything out of turn. And so integrity requires us to put a much more conscious effort into the things that we're saying and the things that we're doing. And that causes and space is something a lot of us need to get used to. And it's difficult in part because the vast majority of us have spent our entire lives saying that we are going to do things and then not doing them. And in doing that, we've built a litmus test of proof in the negative that we can't trust ourselves. And our body and our minds know that. They know. And you can sense. I know, like, each of you listening can sense that there's a lot of times where you say that you're going to do something, and in your head you already know you're not going to do it. And that manifests itself in the specific words that you say as well. Like, oh yeah, I think I can get that done. That's already a no. Or, oh yeah, maybe. No, that's already a no. Oh yeah, I'll try to get that done tonight. Already a no. And so there's a lot of different things that will need to get fixed if we are to have characters of integrity. I think the easiest place to start is probably with our words, and just saying what we mean and meaning what we say. We have to rewrite our mental narratives. We have to start small and start to rebuild our characters of integrity. Start to fill all of these holes that we've shot through ourselves, and through our metaphorical ship, so to speak, in our minds, and prove to ourselves that we are trustworthy again. And that's what it means to have integrity, is to be someone who is trustworthy. To be someone who, one, can rely on themselves, and two, others can also rely on. And so you'll notice, obviously, Christ was perfect in this. And the other nice thing is that Jesus, being a man of his word completely, can't lie. I guess won't lie. And so we know that when we make promises with God, that he will always keep his end of the bargain, even if we fall short. And we do, every day. So understanding that you can rely on him in that way is critical. So I'm trying to think if I think when it comes to integrity, there's a few different specific steps that you can undergo. The first one, and this should be the first step you undergo when you're trying to change anything to be more like Jesus, but is just to pray for it. Just to pray and ask God to help you to be a man or woman of your word. Ask him to help you to speak more carefully and think more before you speak. A specific practice that's been helpful for me with this, an experiment that I've ran a few different times throughout my life actually, is that I initiated a policy with myself where I would have to wait 3 seconds before I said something to initiate a conversation or respond to someone. And that proved to be very effective for me, because it just kind of forced me to slow down, and I would count out in my head 1, 2, 3, and then respond. And oftentimes, the vast majority of the time, I caught myself about to say something that was just either 1, just not necessary, or 2, was a negative rather than a positive. And I think a mantra that I think is helpful when you're considering this is that your words should always be bringing everyone up and never be bringing anyone down. So a good rule of thumb is in those 3 seconds, your brain is going to have some extra time to process what you're about to say. And if you find that it is something that is going to bring someone down, then don't say it. And if you find that it is something that is going to lift someone up, then do say it. Now, where this ties into integrity, because you might say, oh, well, if I tell someone that I'm going to do this thing that they want me to do, then that's going to bring them up. And it may for a moment, but if you don't actually mean what you say and follow through with that thing, then in the long run, it is going to bring that person down, and that is still a negative. You have to have the follow through. You can't just say that you're going to do something and then not do it and expect to have that be a positive interaction with that person. It's just not going to work like that. People are going to stop trusting you very quickly. So I have noticed that as I have worked to rebuild my character of integrity and to build a litmus test of proof for myself in the positive that I am just someone who does what they say they're going to do. That my capacity to change, to be more like Christ, has increased dramatically because I have become someone who, when I say I am going to do something, I know that it will actually happen. Because I trust myself to do whatever needs to be done to make that change. Now, granted, I'm not perfect, right? And that litmus test of proof in the positive is still something that I'm building and will continue to build every day for the rest of my life. But it helps bring that confidence back, that you can change, that you have the power to be more like Him, and that all those things that you, like, maybe the problems or issues that you've had your entire life, that you want to change, and you've said that you're going to change time and time again, but still haven't. It starts with the small things, like your words, and your small everyday actions, just doing the tiniest things and letting that momentum compound, letting it snowball, until you become someone who simply does what they say they're going to do. And then you can approach those bigger changes that might need to be made in your life that are more systemic, again, and say, okay, I've remade myself, I've rebuilt my character of integrity, I feel much more confident, and I am much more capable in saying that I'm going to tackle this challenge to change, to be more like Christ, and actually doing it. So there's your pursuit tip for the day. I don't really know what to call this exactly. Drop a comment down below if you have an idea for what to call these. I haven't decided whether they're going to be like a daily thing or not yet. I haven't decided. But go rebuild your character of integrity, and you will give yourself the confidence and the capability to change anything you want to about yourself to be more like Jesus Christ in your relentless pursuit of Him.